Hi, I need to tell you about the Moms Moving On membership community. I can't believe you're not a part of it yet. Being a Moms Moving On member means that you have entered a world of all of the best and most useful advice to guide you along on your own moving on journey. Combined with monthly coaching webinars at no extra cost and our private Moms Moving On Facebook group where you can all connect with each other. My Moms Moving On membership community was based out of a need that I had back when I was getting divorced and just couldn't find, but it is the place for lemonade makers. I've rounded up my go-to experts to put together curated content just for you, including a free monthly webinar with me, self-confidence boosters, co-parenting tips and strategies, heartbreak advice, divorce anxiety relief, legal advice from top US attorneys and mediators, financial advice, ebooks to help you on your journey, journal prompts and worksheets, discounts for all of my favorite brands, playlists to get you in the mood, no matter the mood, my direct number for when you need extra advice, and of course, discounts on workshops. Everyone, welcome back to Moms Moving On. And listen, you asked for it, you're getting it. We have the beautiful and inspiring Meghan King on with us today. I'm super excited because she's taking time out from her solo journey to Mexico. She's literally calling us from the jungle. You've sent in your questions, I have them too, and Lord, am I happy to get a dose of inspiration tonight from you, Meghan. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh my goodness. Thanks, Michelle. What an intro. Wow.
Deserved. For those of you who don't know Meghan, what rock are you living under? She was on The Real Housewives of Orange County, and she left the show when she was pregnant with her twins. She's a mama of 3.
Yes, I am.
Haven't seen her on TV. You've likely been following her on Instagram. Her Instagram has become quickly one of my favorite places because there was a post you did. I think you were in the bath and you didn't have the kids, and you referenced that and you were like, I'm just taking time for me. And so many of my followers sent that to me and they were like, you need to get her on the show.
Oh, thanks. Yep. I definitely take baths alone. That's nice.
Listen, that's a luxury for some moms who are just find the time to shower.
Absolutely.
So tell me the Cliff's Notes as to your story and why you are where you are today, for those who don't know.
Gosh, my story. We were just chatting about it a little bit before you hit record. I am going through divorce, and I think that leaning into the broken identity that was my marriage is oftentimes an easy place to be comfortable in, instead of moving on and moving past that point in which you thought that you'd never have to do. I could either fall back into that and be in that level of that misery for longer than I need to, or I can live it, feel it, and decide to move on. I don't know how to really define myself today. I don't want to, yes, I'm going through divorce. I'm not divorced yet. I'm going through custody battle. I'm a blogger. I love to travel. I love to try new things. And I love to make time for myself. I think it makes me a better mom.
Absolutely.
I don't know how to answer that, Michelle. Like, who am I? Aren't we just all figuring it out every day?
You know what I think is the answer to that question? I think if you're able to answer that quickly, then you really haven't experienced much in life yet. I feel like I'm 37 years old. I feel like I've lived a million lifetimes. I've been so many different things. I was a publicist. I was a special ed teacher. I was a regular ed teacher. I was a blogger. Now I'm an author. I think that's life, right? Like you were saying before we hit record, we go through things in life that continually change the landscape of how we're living. And you have to be able to roll with the punches, which it obviously seems like you're doing. And that's one of that's the defining characteristic of truly being able to move on and thrive after something painful like a divorce or infidelity.
I'm a student of life, and I want to make sure that every experience that I endure, yes, I might come out with pain because of it, but I'm going to have knowledge and be a wiser human because of it. That's the way I choose to focus on my life. If not, then I think I could be in a really unhappy place. And not to say that I haven't been, because of course I have. And like I said, I think it's important to lean into all the feelings that we feel. But once that I've, worked through that, it's time to really figure out who I am, figure out what I've learned, and be better because of it.
Absolutely. So you are co-parenting 3 kids. I imagine you have a temporary time sharing agreement.
Yeah.
So are you guys 50-50? Is he fighting for more? What is that looking like for you?
We've been sharing the children, and our kids are really happy, and ultimately that's all that matters. So we'll see what happens. We're coming up to the end of this battle, and thank God. It's just like such an energy sucker. But I feel like I don't want to say anything to jinx it.
Let's not
So
jinx
ask
it.
me in a few months.
I will, but I have one child and I started co-parenting when she was 2. She's 6 now, still a handful, but it was definitely a lot harder when I first started. How do you manage 3 children? I know now one of your children needs a little extra love and attention because he was diagnosed with
Mhm.
CP. How do you manage all
Yep.
this?
I don't know. I just do. I think it's really fucking hard and at times, and it's really fun at times. But overall, I would say it's like incredibly difficult. And in the mornings, when I wake up as a single mom, sometimes I have my daughter in bed with me because she'll wake up in the middle of the night. And so I can't, I like to get up and get ready and start my day before my kids wake up. But if she's in my bed, then I'm waking her up and she needs to sleep. And so I'll just try to tiptoe out of the bed. If I do, she wakes up. Then I have, 3 kids who want their chocolate milk in the morning. 2 of them still are in diapers. And one will be saying, Mommy, play with me, or turn this on TV, or whatever they need, or I'm hungry. And I'm only one person. I always tell them that I'm just one mommy. There's only one mommy in this whole house. So I've got to do certain things. And it's so hard. And I feel like it's a logistical freaking nightmare.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, just breathe, get through it. So in a lot of ways, I'm still in survival mode. When I can leave the house, it's difficult to prepare to leave the house for something fun. But once we're out and about, it breaks the monotony of the day. And I feel better just getting out of the house. So I strive to do that. But oftentimes I lose my temper. And then I apologize to my kids for losing my temper. Or I might make mac and cheese for the 3rd time in a week. I'm not perfect and I strive to do better, but like I'm giving myself grace to also breathe sometimes. And if that means mac and cheese for a 3rd time in the week, then I'm going to be okay with that.
If making mac and cheese 3 times in a week makes you a bad mom, then I don't even know what I would be. I think my first year of separation, that was dinner. Like it, and now it's ironically my daughter's comfort food. But I think it's important that we go back to what you said about sometimes mommy loses her temper and that's okay. There's this misconception that you have to be on and smiling and positive and peppy all the time for your children, but what does that teach them? They're not allowed a bad day or a bad moment. So I think it's great that you're able to own it, that you have
Right.
those moments, you apologize, and that's really real, Megan. That's what our kids need to see so that they feel okay with who they are when they're not perfect or having the best moment.
I don't think it's good for me to lose my temper. I feel like that's an emotional weakness of mine that I probably need to work on with my children. But I recognize that I'm human,
Yeah,
and it happens on occasion. And I tell my kids, I'm sorry for doing that. I shouldn't have yelled at you like that. I was feeling very frustrated, but instead of yelling at you, I should have walked outside and taken a deep breath. Or I really try to talk to them as if they're adults. And I also want them to be validated. They're too little. They can't express their feelings of maybe fear if I'm yelling. Like my children are so little, a lot of times they can't express into words how they're feeling. And so if they're feeling scared, if I'm yelling, I want to come back and say to them, that wasn't right. This
Mhm.
is why I yelled, because I was frustrated. I'm sorry I did that. I'll work on it next time. But I want them to know that I see that they're scared, or, whatever they might be feeling. I see that you're frustrated, or that you don't like that, or it makes you sad, or whatever. Because the children will oftentimes, they can't say, and like I said, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. And like, maybe something's right in there.
Listen, we're all doing it our own ways, and our kids are just I've seen with my own daughter, because I've had my moments where I lose it too. And she'll get scared and then she'll come to me and she'll rub my face or rub my hair and she'll be like, "It's okay, mommy. I love you. You're perfect." And what they
Oh,
seek from us is so simple and pure that sometimes we're striving to do so much and be so amazing and over the top when all they really want is like that little safe place that they can crawl into at the end of the day and know that everything's
oh,
okay.
absolutely. Yeah. Those are the best moments with my kids. Touch my face, or tell me they love me, or just kiss me out of nowhere. It's the best.
And I think you cherish that more as a co-parent. Like I know I do. There were times before that, before I was divorced, where my daughter would be crawling all over me and I'd be like, oh my God, make it stop. And now I'm just like, more, Bella, please, more. She's getting bigger and it's not the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. Or maybe is it just because she's getting bigger and it's not the same? Like
For
it could
sure.
be, it doesn't, I don't know. Like my kids are so little right now. They're 4, 2, and 2. And yeah, they're always crawling all over me. But I think that I cherish those moments most when I get a little bit of time to myself
Mhm.
to reflect on just whatever it might be. And then I come back and I'm more open to their affection and their needs, instead of just like living in this like Groundhog Day.
And I think that's the hidden gem of co-parenting is
Oh,
what is it?
I'm sorry, the raccoon animal just came right by me.
You
Oh
guys,
gosh.
it's because Megan's standing literally in the jungle in the woods and there's raccoons flying at her.
That's
So the
literally
kids are,
the case in the mind.
the kids are young. How do they do shifting back and forth between homes?
I don't know. I guess they're okay. I think the twins, it's all they know. Aspen sometimes talks about how she remembers when Daddy and I used to live together, but I don't think she really does because she wasn't even 3 when he left.
Is there any I want mommy or they're just happy going?
Oh no, no, no. Sometimes they want mommy. They'll have moments. Aspen had a moment one time where she wanted her daddy and I couldn't get in touch with him. And so the school got in touch with him. Like I asked the school to get in touch with him just to soothe my daughter. And that was a very humbling experience.
Ugh, I know I've been there. This was not what you wanted. So how are you able, or how do you find ways to put your emotions to the side and just focus on what's best for the kids? That was one of the questions I got from a lot of followers when I crowdsourced about this episode.
I don't know how I really do that. I don't know if I really do, honestly. I think I can still have my own emotions and also put my kids' needs first.
Obviously, many of us in these situations would rather just say, screw you. Like, I'm not going to be flexible and switch a day, or you're an asshole. I'm not giving you more time with the kids. Are you able to swallow it and stay focused on what's best for the kids?
Doing all of that is extremely difficult.
Yeah.
Yes, almost non-existent. I am no picture of a co-parenting relationship. We'll put it that way.
Right. Many of us are not. And I'm happy you're saying that because there's this false misconception that you have to be best friends with your ex in order to co-parent. And I don't agree because I don't have that situation. And you're still so new to this where it's completely unexpected that you guys would be in this friendly, amicable place where there are no feelings hurt.
We're still going through and actively through divorce. And yeah, it's my emotions run high
Yeah.
between their dad and I. So I feel like the way that I think of it is when I have the kids in my custody, that's when I, see them, love on them, talk to them, teach them, and that's all I can control. So try to focus on that.
That control thing is huge. I mean, I work with women day in and day out, and it always goes back to someone or both people want too much control, and there's just this one person in the fight becomes like a dog with a bone and can't give up, picking every battle and choosing to fight every fight that can be fought. And someone, the smarter person, always has to like back down and say, okay, I'm not going to fight every fight. I'm going to pick what's important to me and let the rest of it go. Because if we're both trying to be in control all the time, it's a hot mess for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And also before I was a co-parent, like I am now, I was a stepmom. And so I had the opportunity to see the co-parenting relationship that my ex had with his other ex-wives, learn from those. I had that, I guess, benefit in a way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that is a benefit. How is your, do you still have a relationship with your stepchildren or is that kind of weird?
I do not, unfortunately. When he and I split, I think that I lost them as well, unfortunately.
God, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, thanks.
You have your 3 beautiful children and you have the life you are creating for yourself, which no doubt will bring beautiful things, because of your persistence on moving forward and experiencing. And here you are, you're in Mexico on your own. You were scuba diving today. Like, I think it's the coolest. I had my own sort of eat, pray, love situation after my own split. And I didn't journey to Mexico by myself. I just went up to New York to see some friends. But even so, it was the sense of freedom that really excited me, because my marriage wasn't what I wanted it to be, and I didn't feel good in it. So it was really exciting for me. So I think the fact that you're doing that obviously puts you on the best path. And
Thank
then
you.
I guess the question is, so many women I work with are recovering from infidelity, and
Mhm.
many of them express to me that they felt blindsided and don't know that they could A, ever move on from it, or B, ever trust again. What are your thoughts on
Mhm.
trust after infidelity?
I don't know. I like trust so much. I don't know why. And I know I have trust issues, and I think I have like a child lock on my heart where it's able to be unlocked, but you have to have like a little bit more tenderness in order to open it. But overall, I think I'm like a romantic, and I feel good about finding love again.
I love that. I always said I wasn't done with love yet. And I knew in my situation, I was married 3 years, that I didn't get like a fair shot, and that I would have my fair shot one day. And so I'm glad to say that I do now. I think having that sense of knowing in your heart is really important, because I truly feel the story you tell yourself is the one you get to experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think for me, the one thing that I always thought about the infidelity that I experienced was that it wasn't my fault. Like, I never took it upon me. Am I cute enough? Am I like, what's wrong? What am I lacking? I really thought this is something broken within my husband, that I will stand by him if he wants to fix it and he's willing to fix it. And I'm going to hurt in the process, and I'm going to throw things and scream and cry. But I'm not the broken one here. Yes, maybe there's like a weak spot in the marriage, but it's not because I'm not, cute enough, or I don't, whatever. And so I think for me, that was huge to really truly not just know that, but I honestly believe that, honestly, deep in my heart, I knew that. And that was what I clung to, that helped me have the confidence to ultimately be able to move on when he wasn't able to heal.
And I think that's the emotionally involved woman within you speaking, because I posted about this once, that people do things like their hurtful behavior stems from shit deep inside of them, the childhood traumas, undealt with
Mhm.
issues from their past. And if we're going to take all of other people's shitty behavior personally, we're all going to be some very sad humans. And,
Right.
I know, having lived through my parents' divorce, where my father was not faithful and for years, and my mom finally found out and left and moved on, I would say to her, how can you trust somebody else? And she would say, Michelle, one bad apple does not spoil the bunch. Not everybody is going to have the same issues your father had. And as an adult woman, I see that now. And I think that is the best mindset and the best approach to have, because just because somebody hurt you does not mean that everybody else out there is looking to hurt you.
I also think that there's not enough talk around sex within our culture. I think that relationships are supposed to be monogamous or not. And monogamy is there's a spectrum of monogamy. For instance, is flirting with the opposite sex cheating? I don't know. Like, maybe in some relationships they think that is, or is sending flirty text cheating? Or what are the expectations around sex within a couple? Are you supposed to have sex, once a week or once a quarter? Everybody's different. This doesn't have to be like, there doesn't have to be a cultural norm that we all ascribe to. And unless we're vocal about this with our partners, there's more opportunities for us as individuals and us as partners to be unhappy there. And then like our minds start to wander and stray just because we're not being communicative. And I think that is really important that was a big takeaway that I had from the infidelity that I experienced within my marriage, just to be more open with talking about sex.
Absolutely. And I love that you're able to take the lessons from what you went through. That's what I'm all about. And that's what I'm preaching constantly is, it didn't work out the way you wanted to. So what can be learned from this, and how can we do things better moving on? And so good for you. Megan,
Thanks.
I
I
don't
try.
want to take up too much more of your beautiful vacation time, but I do want to leave us with this. If you were to give any advice to a mom listening today who is just starting her divorce and co-parenting journey, what would it be?
I think I would tell her that no one is going to take care of the mother of your children better than you are. And that is you. You are the mother of your children. You have to take care of you in order to be the best person for your kids. Would you treat your nanny badly? No. You're going to pay her or him as well as you possibly can. You want to praise them as much as you can and make their life as good as it can be so that they treat your children. Who's going to do that for the mom? The mom's got to do that for the mom.
Preach. Thank you. I just did a whole workshop on this with women who literally had to be forced out the door to spend an hour getting a manicure. So I appreciate this so much. You need your tank overflowing as a single mother because there's nobody to call on for backup. So you have to like always be on. So yes, for that. Thank you. How many more days do you have left in Mexico?
Just 2 more nights.
Okay.
It's a quick trip.
Enjoy it. Do all the fun things.
Thank you.
Living vicariously through you on Instagram. And for all of you listening, I know you found a lot of inspiration in this. Thank you so much for pushing me and forcing me to have the guts to approach Meghan King. And now we've done it.
Oh, you're so sweet. Well, thanks, Michelle. This has been a pleasure. Great chatting with you. You're a bright light.
With you too. So excited to let you know that the official Moms Moving On book is launching soon. It's called Moms Moving On, Real Life Advice for Conquering Divorce, Co-Parenting with Conflict, and Becoming Your Best Self. If you want early access to the book, plus my free guide, 5 reminders to help you ditch the divorce mama guilt, go to momsmovingon.com/book to get early access. We've worked so hard on this book, and I'm really excited to share it with you. Are you newly separated or divorced and looking for community? Are you nervous about dating again after marriage? Don't worry, we're in this together. I'm Michelle Dempsey, founder of Moms Moving On, and I've been there, which is why I'm inviting you to my private workshop, Moms Moving On After Dark. In this 4-part workshop, you'll get how to answer important questions like how do you know if you're ready to date again after divorce, tools for finding your confidence again, tips for online dating and how to spot red flags, dating after divorce etiquette. What do you tell people? What do you tell the kids? And when is the right time to do that? We meet virtually 4 times over the month, and there are only 5 total spots, and they're filling up fast. So make sure you go to momsmovingon.com/workshops to RSVP ASAP. I can't wait to see you there.